We are ADHD Aware. We're a peer support charity run by a team of committed volunteers, and we've been running for over a decade. We use a peer support model to assist adults impacted by ADHD and also associated forms of neurodiversity to help their mental well-being. ADHD stands for Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, and it is clinically defined by a few traits including inattentiveness, hyperactivity, and impulsivity. It can affect many aspects of a person's daily life. It can affect their schooling, their work life, their relationships, and their feeling of inclusivity and also their health and well-being.
Many people used to think that ADHD was rare. ADHD is very common. It affects probably between 1 in 20 and 1 in 10 individuals.
A lot of people think it's, young children, especially boys, a condition for them where they just can't focus and run around or whatever. There's so many facets to it. There's a lot of negatives that make life sometimes very difficult, but there's a lot of positives too.
Since the pandemic started 2 years ago, we started running a lot of our sessions online, and since that time we've actually grown and thrived significantly. We've started helping many more people and actually have expanded our services to support adults with ADHD on a national basis. Currently, we're entirely reliant on grant funding, which is relatively minimal compared to the increased need from our user base.
ADHD Aware started off as a peer support group 11 years ago, and we've grown from strength to strength, and last year we became a registered charity. We run 6 support meetings a month. We have 4 moderated Facebook groups that provide a safe space for online peer support, and we also have a website that's able to provide information nationwide.
We involve adults with ADHD and adults impacted by ADHD, the whole community, in all of our work. We include people living with ADHD themselves, their partners, the parents of young adults and the parents of school-aged children. They run these sessions themselves.
I now volunteer very proudly for ADHD Aware. Having people around me that actually show me that they care about me helps me help other people.
It was in my late 40s that I actually got diagnosed. I somehow got missed along the way. And some of the things that affected me are like social isolation, because there's certain things, that ADHD, how it affects their relationships with others. And when I started coming to the meetings, it was really, really a relief, because I met other people who had the exact same problems I did. We're welcoming, I wasn't judged, and the support was amazing.
We're now going to tell you a little bit more about our plans for the future that will help us meet the needs of our community into the future and make our charity more sustainable.
To ensure we meet the demands of our increased membership, we need funding and sponsorship to grow and develop our services. These include our volunteer support, awareness training, website and information, peer support sessions, our newsletter to over 2,000 people, couples courses, 10-week support courses, our membership support, and webinars. We will do this with paid staff and volunteers using our peer support model.
I approached ADHD Aware to ask them to provide a series of awareness-raising training courses for our staff. And our staff are both clinical and non-clinical, so some directly work with patients, others don't. But the important thing was that we really knew that we needed to raise awareness of the needs of people with neurodiverse experience. And they submitted a proposal which was so incredibly powerful, because it enabled us to see the way in which the lived experience of the people working in ADHD would be brought to life through the training.
As our mailing list has been growing larger and larger, our events have become more and more oversubscribed. And so last year we piloted doing webinar events that have a greater capacity. Members would like to see us do more webinar events.
ADHD creates patterns of behaviours in couples that they don't necessarily recognise, and it has an awful impact on their connection.
And one of the things that was so wonderful witnessing in this couples course is how everybody started to recognise each other and see themselves reflected in other people's stories and think about strategies or ways that they could bring into their relationship that would support them both.
We plan to grow the organisation over the next 3 years with funding and corporate sponsorship.
We believe this is important because we know that they have populations of employees with ADHD, and they also have other stakeholders who may be impacted by ADHD. We feel it's important to educate their staff, as well as to raise awareness of the condition and how it impacts people, particularly at work. We've had already significant interest from a few organisations on this front, and we plan to deliver this corporate training as a new source of income for our charity.
ADHD Aware is providing a really invaluable resource, and we in the Sussex Neurodevelopmental Service are working in partnership, and we have really appreciated how in this environment where their services are so scant, if they exist at all, that ADHD Aware are working tirelessly to ensure that people have access to peer support, groups and webinars and training resources in the workplace and in education.
So this is a 3-year project, at which point we expect that this project will be self-sustaining, we'll have enough income coming in to pay for the staff, as well as to continue to expand our services to meet the needs of our users.